All right, so now we're going to calculate the mean and the standard deviation of each data set. We're going to round each answer to 2 decimal places. I'm going to apologize ahead of time. I know you guys are not going to like the calculation for standard deviation, but let me write out the formula first. This is the symbol for standard deviation. I know it looks weird. It's just a Greek letter. So the standard deviation is equal to the square root of this sideways M looking thing. It just means the sum. So this is just sum. I'm just going to write sum so that you know what that means. Sum of, so this is a little U with a line in the front of it, okay? And this is every term. And this is the mean. So you're going to take every term and you're going to subtract it from the mean. You're going to square it and you're going to add it all up. I know that looks crazy right now, but we will do it together. Don't worry. And then you're going to divide it by n. And n is how many data points. All right, so I know you guys are not really going to find this fun, but we have to learn how to do standard deviation so that you know what your calculator is doing when later on we just learn how to do it in the calculator, okay? So the data is all of those numbers. Let's first calculate the mean. So we have to calculate the mean first. And to calculate the mean, you just add it all up and divide by how many numbers there are. So 33 plus 32 plus 30 plus 50 plus 49 plus 50 plus 35 plus 73 plus 71 plus 77. All divided by how many numbers are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So once you type it all out, you should get 50. Remember to use parentheses around all of this. So that way you add it all up first before you divide it by 10. Otherwise, your calculator will give you some number that's wrong. Okay, so now to calculate your standard deviation. I'm just going to write STDEV, standard deviation. Okay, so to calculate your standard deviation, we want to add up every term minus the mean. So what that means is, for example, this is your first term, is 33. We're going to subtract from it the mean, which is 50. And we're going to square that. So that's this part, every term minus the mean squared. And then we're going to do it again with the next term, 32. So 32 minus the mean squared. Notice we're adding it together. That's what this means. That means sum. So that means you're adding everything up together. So we're going to do this again with the next term. Next term is 30. So we're adding it. 30 minus the mean, which is 50, and we're going to square it. Do it again with the next term. And again with the next term. And again with the next term. I'm just going to make this smaller because it's in my way now. There we go. And again with the next term. And again with the next term. And again. And the last term. Okay, so all of those things added together, and then we need to divide it by n, so that's how many data points. We already counted the data points. There were 10 data points, as you can see right over here. And then we're going to square root everything at the very end. Because remember, It's in a square root. All right, so we're going to do this step by step. I'm going to type all of this on my calculator right now. I'm going to type all of that. So once I added all of that up, I got this. Oops. Two, 9, 3, 8. And then you just divide by 10. And then you square root. And I got 17.140. We are rounding it to 2 decimal places. So I'm just going to keep up to here. The 0 is a small number, so the 4 stays as a 4. And so this is our standard deviation. And it just tells us how spread out our numbers are. So 17.14 compared to like the 50, which is our mean, it's like kind of spread out. It's okay. This is how you calculate standard deviation. So now we're going to do it again for number 4. Luckily for us, I think number 4 has fewer numbers. So let's try this out. First step in calculating our standard deviation is to calculate our mean. So let's calculate the mean. So to calculate the mean, you just add everything up and divide by how many numbers there are. So 20 plus 42 plus 45 plus 51 plus 49 plus 47 plus 58 plus 53 plus 55 plus 80. All divided by how many numbers are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, it's the same amount of numbers. Great. Okay, cool. Let's find out what our mean is. All right, so this one also gives us 50 as our mean again. So once again, same mean, it's okay. So the standard deviation, which I don't want to write the entire thing up, well, we're going to have the square root of every number minus the mean. So let's write it out. First number is 20. We're going to subtract the mean, which is 50, and you're going to square it. To that, you're going to add the next term, which is 42, minus the mean, which is 50, squared. And again, 45 minus 50 squared. And then again, 51 minus 50 squared. And again. And again. And again. And again. Again. And last one. Okay, so once you've added up every single number minus the mean, divide it by how many numbers there are. In this case, there were 10 numbers. Remember, we counted over here, 10 numbers. And then you're going to take the square root of everything. Wonderful. All right, so let's type it in our calculators. So once I've added all of that up, I got 1998. So what I did was I added all of this part up first, because it's too much to type in a calculator if you're trying to type it all at once. So I just did that part first. And then that gives me square root of 199.8, which then gives me 14.1350. Remember, you want 2 decimal places, so I'm going to cut it off there. Look at this number. This is a big number, so therefore the 3 gets rounded up to a 4. So it's 14.14. And that would be your final answer for the standard deviation. So notice that both of these had a mean of 50, but this one has a smaller standard deviation than this one. So 14.14 is a smaller standard deviation than 17.14 because 14 is smaller than 17. And so that means the data in number 4, the data for this problem, was less spread out than the data for this problem. All right, so that was it for this video. Hopefully you understood it. If not, call me over so I can answer your questions.